got a really good example of why the studying of history is important, and including historical theology, in this report that has been seen for the last few days about Hegseth and others within the Department of Defense. I'm not going to call it the Department of War, um, claiming that it's part of God's divine plan to attack Iran in order to hasten the return of Jesus. This is built upon faulty, shitty theology called dispensational premillennialism, which has its roots in the 19th century. It is not a creedal belief of Christians. Over millennia, it is something that was used to dupe Christians in the 19th century and has been studied over and over again. I did write about it in my book, but then I also can point you to other books like American Apocalypse and Rapture Culture and The Rise and Fall of Dispensationalism by Daniel Hummel. All of these are examples of ways in which we know that this is the case, and this is theology that can justify horrific actions as well as inaction in the face of adversity, in the face of negative things. This theology has been pernicious and present in American evangelicalism as well as other forms of evangelicalism throughout the world since its introduction by John Nelson Darby in the 1800s. Again, this is not a creedal belief. This is not something that has been part of Christian practice for millennia. It is a very new belief in the stretch of history. But we still have to deal with this shit because of the fact that it is being used to justify the attacks within Iran that were not approved by congressional authority. Not that this president or its administration gives one lick for what Congress can or cannot or should not do. However, we do also have to reckon with the fact that this theology is being used to cause harm to other human beings on the other side of the world. We got to sit with that. And we also have to point out that those of us who know, those of us who were raised in these things, whether or not we were steeped in it, whether or not it was just part of the background of something like Left Behind or VeggieTales or whatever, those of us who know, we should share what we know with the rest of the world, because this is the type of thinking that allows this sort of thing to happen, and it's frustrating as hell.